going on, everybody? Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 5 is in the books. Um, this won't be a long review. We'll get to this more next Tuesday night leading into episode 6. We'll make sure we carve out some time on Phantom Empire Live, or the Phantom Empire show for it, pardon me. But dude, I'll hand it over to you, man. Thoughts?
I loved it. Top to bottom, it gave us a little bit of everything, which I loved. I enjoyed the story beats in the episode. I enjoyed the action, and if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, that lightsaber duel at the end might be my favorite one in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I don't think I can say that, but it was cool. It was cool. It was.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm watching 20 minutes fresh, so it might be. That's why I say might, because tomorrow I may feel differently. But
Yeah, no, it was really good. Hayden got some stuff to do, and honestly, I thought he was quite well in the episode. I did not see any of his performance where I went, "Oh, this guy can't act at all." There was none of that.
so, are
So,
you expecting Kieran to pop up and disagree with you?
well, no, I mean, he might watch this after the fact, and I'm sure he'll find a way to nitpick it. Hopefully not, though, because I thought he was really good, and I thought the episode was.
I mean, like I've said, I've never had a problem with Hayden's performance, but the writing for him always sucked. And this is an experience where Anakin Skywalker was written by someone who is a, good writer.
I don't know if I
George,
wanna go
George is a great director, but he's not a good writer.
Um, yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I'm glad Hayden got some time. Um, it's I was a little emotional, to be honest. And I like that it was not just one like 3-minute flashback off the top. It just we kept going back to it throughout the episode.
It was a
Uh,
solid
which I
7
thought
minutes
was
throughout the course, I think, say something like that.
I also thought the weakest part of this episode was Leia. And that's not
Really?
the actress. I think the episode was that good that her parts were the weakest.
I mean,
Because
if you're weighing it on that barometer, I mean, I guess I can't really
yeah, no, she didn't do it.
argue it because she didn't do very much, but
Yeah.
what she did do was important and obviously a good performance.
Okay,
Thanks for stopping in.
go to bed. Um, anyway, yeah, no, the episode was really good. So I'll get my negative out of the way first.
Okay.
There really isn't one for the episode. It's for the series. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not The Mandalorian. It's not the Book of Boba Fett. It's not Tales of the Jedi. It's not Skeleton Crew. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ewan McGregor returning. There is no reason with that quadrillion-dollar company that all your episodes couldn't have had the budget that this one had. This is Star Wars. It's Obi-Wan. And I'm telling you, if you go see all these episodes back to back in a movie theater, you're going to notice a substantial increase in visual quality in this episode compared to the past episodes. I'm not saying every episode needs to be grand. Definitely not. Not with a character-driven story. But there are some really bad visuals in this series, and how good this episode was highlighted just how poor some of those other visuals are. So I don't know if they're going to do the George Lucas thing and maybe they'll go back and clean some of it up after the fact, but the whole series should have had a big budget feel to it, even if it's a smaller character driven piece for much of it. And I know obviously next week's episode, the finale, is I would assume would be just as big budget. So we got lots going on. I liked everything that happened in this episode, man. I love the way Vader was shot. Again, we believe in all the non full body shots. It's Hayden. At least that's what forgive my term here, but the foreign fella who's playing Vader as well. Him and I can't remember the other guy's name, but in an interview, he basically said Anakin's all the close-ups. Anything that's a non-full body shot. Sorry, Hayden is all of the non-full body shots. So read into that what you will. I know there's people that say otherwise, but it is what it is. I really liked the episode though, dude. I liked Kenobi in it. I thought he was good. Vader was sorry. I thought Kenobi was great. I thought Vader was great. This might be the best episode in the series. It's
I don't think there's any way to
between
deny
it
that.
and number one. One's still such a great character piece that it's hard, but
They had to set the tone, so of course it had to set the bar very high, and it did achieve that goal. I definitely think this one was my favorite. Um, but for me, this has kind of been like an elevator going up, not so much a roller coaster for me. Um, so I kind of figured this one would be my favorite, but it like I said off the top, it had everything. It had great story. It moved the story forward. It expanded on Reva's backstory and explained her, which I thought was amazing because I don't want to say it surprised me, but it kind of did. The way they sort of wove that together and the making confirming what we believe to be true off the top, that she was that youngling you saw at the beginning of the first episode. Confirm that to be true, confirm her story, and that she hasn't actually turned. She's working deep cover on her own mission to defeat Vader.
I think she's turned. I think it's okay to say that she's turned, but
I'd say I wouldn't say she's turned, but I'd say she's embraced the dark side in a bit more of
oh,
a
that's what I mean by turn. Like she's
okay. Well,
full on dark force user, right? So,
I
but
again, I can look more on the force, more in the Revan style yin and yang. You know, good and evil can be used for the betterment of all, and Reva sort of did that by dipping into the dark side to achieve her goal of eliminating the threat she perceives Vader to be, which he is, of course, and does it phenomenally well. That Obi-Wan is shocked to realize you don't serve him. I liked that revelation when Obi-Wan put it all together, and and they worked out the plan to do the fake ship and all that shenanigan stuff, which I thought was weird but cool. And you finally see Vader go full Star Killer, which I thought was nice.
mhm.
That was a nice little nod to that.
All of a sudden, wait for it. The guy who's gonna have a bazillion views tonight. Him and fucking Nard Theory, I'll call him. I mean, it is those two that stir up a lot of how the online community feels because of their following.
Mhm.
But now it's going to be, oh my boy, look at the force. Oh, this is great. This is such good shit. To steal a Vince McMahon line, and it's just like it was good shit. But I think the whole series has been good. I think the issues with the series have nothing to do with the story and everything to do on the technical side. And um, I can't remember. I feel like we didn't get a full shot of the Star Destroyer there. I feel like we only got its nose over the planet. We seen its nose in that cutaway, which isn't a hard shot to do.
I
But
think the only ships we saw in full were the transport and the drop ship of Reva's, and then we saw Vader's transport. He was using the proper.
yeah, I don't know, man. I really like this episode. If I had to decide right now while I'm half awake, I think episode 1 I gave a 9.5, so I'd have to give like a 9.6 to this one. I would give it that slight above. And honestly, the best shot of the whole show is the Luke shot at the end. The way they did it, it looks spectacular.
It very much mirrored that Anakin scene in the back at the end of 2,
Mhm.
which I thought was amazing.
And by the way, another episode that rhymes with The Empire Strikes Back. You get the Vader walking through the tunnel scenes, which add some snow. It's literally ripped right from Empire Strikes Back. You get the heroes not in a good place at the end. Their hyperdrive is not working. Tala's dead. The droid who's in the intro now but is dead also. Ned B. He's gone. So it had a lot of Empire vibes. So which means I think we get Return of the Jedi vibes in the next one, and I think we're getting the Kenobi's going to give it one good shot at reaching Anakin Skywalker, and I think there's going to be a little bit of a glimmer of hope, and I think we've seen it in this episode actually. Um, but ultimately, it's not Kenobi that gets to bring that out in him. It's the little boy we seen at the end of the episode that'll bring it out in him.
In the end, yeah. I mean, there was just so much going on in this episode. The only thing I'm gonna have to look back on is how did Tala close that door? Because it didn't look like she shot it.
I don't remember.
Like, to me, I thought she reached out with the force and shut it down. I was like, What?"
From that distance, he would have been fine anyway. I thought the door thing was unnecessary. She could have pulled the thing and just had him, duck. It's pretty clear he's almost back to being Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point. Obviously, some rust and some age, but
Yeah, but you got to see that coming through. I really like that with the plan to escape and bring in Vader and all of those things was just it, I mean, I guess that was sort of the confusing part for me. How we got from from Obi-Wan handcuffed in front of all the stormtroopers to escaped. Like that.
oh, that was. I think that was her way of allowing him to do his bit. Is
Well,
she?
I got that, but the stormtroopers just doing nothing and letting it happen seems kind of
What is he
awkward.
gonna do? He could have been like, "These aren't the droids you're looking for." Oh, okay. Oh, dead.
I
Like,
mean, if he actually did like a group, I would prefer seeing that, and how they got around that part.
oh, it's only the two troopers that were with him though. The rest of the bodies that were there before the door closes. They got shot, I believe.
Right,
Yep.
but when he gives himself up
I don't know.
before going back in, is what I mean. Like,
I'd need to rewatch the episode. I'm way too tired to be able to pull that out of my ass. So
I don't even think they showed. Like, I didn't see anything that explained it. It's just he sort of went from A to B. It's like, he's inside. I've got him. You know, what the hell?
well,
It's
they
like,
showed
huh?
him get walked back inside. That they did show. So they definitely walk him back inside, and I just assumed, and I mean, it turned out that way, that was her way of being like, okay, well, I mean, obviously
That he
these
escaped from
are
that point.
whole dudes.
I
So
mean, it would make sense. I don't. It's one of those things I'm gonna have to go back and look at because again, sort of things sort of started happening a little quick there at the end, but it wasn't detrimental to the episode. It just we're at that point in the story where things are going to start going bang, 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 bang. You got to be on your toes to catch everything, and that's not particularly easy to do. On your first viewing of anything, really.
so we've seen Anakin strike down some kids. I didn't think they were going to show that. I mean, obviously, there's some cutaways that happen, but uh,
Yeah, was not quite expecting that.
I mean, I'm not against them showing it and cutting away like they did.
No, it's just not something I expected in a Disney production.
Yeah, for sure. George when he released Revenge of the Sith, yeah. Disney, not so much.
And even there, they didn't really show very much.
I think the most intriguing part of all this, though, is the fact that not just Vader, but like Anakin really owns up to you. You didn't think that I knew you were still alive, and it's like, oh, so you're in there doing that deed during Order 66, and how many of these little ones are you trying to spare? Was it just her, or did you try to get away with sparing some other ones? Because that's cracks in the armor, and I'm guessing
I think it's
that's
more that he didn't so much let her live, just that she survived it. Because she, like she said, she hid with the bodies. So I mean, if she goes full, you know, at that point, him just going through slicing up people, he's just going from A to B. I don't think he's going around to check the bodies when he's done. She just managed to escape from that. I mean, how she escaped from the
No,
temple at that point?
Obi-Wan says that he knew she was still alive even then.
What
He
sounded to me like he said he knew who she was.
to me,
That's the way I interpreted it. It's like
I have
you
to go back
didn't
and
think
watch that
you
for
didn't think I'd
context, but
know who you were, youngling.
well, they have to know who she was. She had to come from somewhere. She's an inquisitor, right? So,
Well,
to
yeah, but we didn't know her backstory. Like,
to
I
me,
mean, the Grand Inquisitor kind of made that point. We'll leave you where we found you in the gutter.
yeah,
Implies to me that she escaped the temple and was recruited afterwards. In one of their purges to create Inquisitors.
maybe it's possible, but I got the vibe that he knew. That's definitely the indication I got, and I mean, we'll find out
I'm
next
sure he knew once he encountered her and realized, oh, this is going to be fun. Let's see how this goes. You get that playful Vader coming through with that one. Let's see what she does.
So, anywho, that's gonna do it for us on this one. I gave it a 9.6 out of 10, man. What are you giving it?
Oh, God, I can't remember what I gave the first few. But I think it's safe for me 9.4, 9.5.
Awesome. Awesome. Good shit. So we'll be back one more time for Obi-Wan Kenobi next week. And then for Andor, I feel really confident in saying I will not be doing this at this time. I can barely do it with one kid, let alone with one kid that's here all the time anyway, let alone with two small children that'll be here all the time. So we'll do stuff for Andor. It just won't be the night of. And there's honestly too many other bigger channels, guys, that are doing it at the exact same time as we are right now. That weren't doing this even during the Book of Boba Fett. I think they seen what a couple of channels did and decided they were going to do it. And now you got
I
like
mean, let's be honest though. This is also Obi-Wan Kenobi, so this is where the big dogs come out.
for sure. I know how my body has responded to this, and as much as I want to do it, Obi-Wan Kenobi will be it for me. Not that we won't be doing Andor. We're gonna cover Andor and separate from like Phantom Empire Live, just or the Phantom Empire show, just not at obscene times in the morning when I can't do it. So
Yeah, a Wednesday afternoon review,
you know,
not a.
Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2 happens, maybe we'll talk about it.
We'll
From
revisit that then.
all indications is it's supposed to happen. But anyways, for Johnny, I'm Sean. You can check us out at patreon.com/Phantom Empire. Don't forget to click the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and we'll see you next week for the finale of Obi-Wan Kenobi.